What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and there's some interesting developments in the WoW streaming community that I want to cover. And before I get into this video, I'm a big stupid idiot with a receding hairline. I mean, well, Asmongold told me to say that, so I had to say it. I don't know. I really didn't have a choice, obviously. But really, super duper quick, link in the description to our biannual fundraising campaign for exclusively games, which is now 6 months old, growing in traffic every single month. Thousands of members in the Discord and forum for a website that is 100% about games, no politics, no baloney sausage. Twice a year, we sell t-shirts to pay all of our writers and keep everything running, as this is a completely non-profit business. So if nothing else, check out exclusivelygames.com. And if you want to help, we just launched this year's crowdfunder to carry us through to the end of the year. We've got a couple of cool t-shirts. Would appreciate your support. If nothing else, I'd love to still have you in the community. Let's keep going with this video. The reason this whole situation interests me is because it involves apparently two people, one that I watch, Asmongold, and two, Mark Kern, who I've been friendly with for many years. And the third actor in this hilarity is Taliesin. And I just want to point out a couple of things that I think are extremely hypocritical of this man. And I'm interested in this situation because I face many of the same criticisms. They're age-old arguments. Essentially, that if you have a large following, that you are somehow responsible for what those people do. This is a common critique. This is a common mantra of folks with blue check marks on Twitter who are the same type of people that absolve themselves of their own personal responsibility. In my experience, people that say entertainers control their fans are the same type of people that can't figure out why their own lives are complete failures. They don't take any personal responsibility in their own life, so of course they couldn't possibly expect anyone else to do so. When you watch a creator, what they do, what they say, these are not direct orders, and even if they were, you still have free will. You still have the choice whether or not to do it, and this considerably large World of Warcraft streamer, not on the Asmongold level of size, but this is still somebody with 250,000 subscribers on YouTube, gets angry at Asmongold for reasons, apparently, because Asmongold is wielding his power and thus not allowed to critique anybody. This is common as well for me. When I'm critiquing somebody or an idea, I try to take special measures to get people to not kind of respond and interact with that person, even though I don't have to. I don't have to tell you to not respond to people. I would rather say, hey, if you like World of Warcraft, you should check out Asmongold because he seems like a cool dude, as opposed to, boy, this Taliesin dude seems like a real hypocritical moron. But just because my channel is large doesn't mean I'm going to change how I respond to anybody. If people put out videos critiquing my ideas or giving personal attacks against me, you better believe I'm going to respond to them. The idea that just because your channel is big, you can't critique anything is absurd. It's a form of soft censorship. They use this terminology like you can't punch down. But the implication is then, as a larger channel or as a larger content creator, you just have to sit there and let people spout lies about you because what? Remember that a guy like Taliesin willingly engaged with Asmongold, right? He put Asmongold's name in his mouth. That's how I try to explain things to people. Look, I don't care if you're a big or a small creator. If you got something to say, then I have every right to respond to that. You had every choice to not put my name in your mouth, or in this case, Asmongold's name, but he chose to do so. He chose to do so he could entertain his Twitch viewers, so he could garner more subscriptions, so he could get more Twitch donations. These type of videos are exciting. People like them. Fans of Asmongold will watch my video and hopefully will likely be entertained by it because this is basically a full-out defense of Asmongold's actions, because I'm sick of seeing people try to push this false narrative. There are a few arguments that Taliesin brings forward about toxicity that I'm going to address, but I'm going to try to keep this video as short as possible. Hi, Asmongold chat. It's your boy Quarter Pounder here. But there's a few points that Taliesin makes that I want to just simply point out how incorrect they are. This is a man that is complaining about toxicity, but replies to a friend of mine, Mark Kern, by saying, "F off, Mark. I'm not trying to stir up anything for attention. I just don't like when me and my wife get thousands of messages, threatening messages every time he reacts to one of our videos," which is often. This is provably false. If you had thousands or even hundreds or even tens of messages, it'd be very easy. There are nice tools that can make nice screenshot montages of this. And even if it were true, again, it isn't Asmongold's responsibility to control the free will of people. That would be godlike powers. Now, of course, as always in my experience with these people, they are giant hypocrites. This is Taliesin being toxic himself. If you watch his own video, which I can only use small parts of because he plays copyrighted music, which is ridiculous, but it's the standard I'll have to live by as a YouTuber that apparently Twitch streamers don't have to live by. And it makes it difficult to respond to many of his direct ideas. Taliesin also, in my experience, also brings up how much money Asmongold makes. And in my experience, anytime somebody brings up how much money somebody makes, it's time to turn off the video. It's time to move on, because it's blatantly obvious that there is some level of jealousy involved here. The amount of money somebody makes is completely irrelevant to whether or not their opinion is correct or not. This type of thinking is just dumb. I don't know how any other way to put it. Remember, Asmongold is not. He may do or say some silly things at times, but he's not an idiot. He understands the Twitch terms of service intimately. It's his job to do so. And as somebody who's watched him for many years, he absolutely has lived within those that construct, even when he doesn't agree with it. Just look at how he reacted to the tryhard emote stuff. I'm not sure if he personally agreed with that or not, but he went above and beyond and addresses it with his chat. He has many rules and chats to try and stay within the Twitch terms of service. And again, that's whether or not he agrees with it. Asmongold is no fool. But let's get into some of the more egregious statements that you've made, Taliesin, that I want to try and educate you as somebody who apparently, like you, doesn't view themselves as better than everybody else. By the way, he makes another point in this video that really irritates me. If you ever, fun fact, if you ever hear the line from somebody that goes something like this: "We can be better." If somebody says, "Hey, Asmongold, blah, 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 we can be better," this is a moralistic position. This is that person, in this case, Taliesin, openly admitting that he thinks he's a better person than Asmongold. Make no mistake about it. I've run into enough people that use this exact logic. That is what this means. When somebody says we can be better, that means you can be better. That means they think they are better than you. Let's get into some of the best takes of this video.
When Asmongold, with his like 30,000 viewers, fucking goes after someone on his stream, okay, like when he singles out certain developers or something for WoW, who make WoW, he's actually punching down.
So he starts out with the classic control narrative, the soft censorship of you're not allowed to critique anybody once you reach a certain size, and they use terms like going after. It's the same logic that people employ when they say critique or criticism is harassment. It's absurd. It's unfounded. It's not even applicable to what we look at in mainstream media or in press or any of the mainstream game journalism websites that absolutely critique individuals all the time.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Are you really using a Spider-Man quote to try and control somebody? Yikes.
And Asmongold at the moment has a whole ton of power. Because if he slags someone off on stream, whether that be another creator or someone who works for Blizzard, his audience go for that person.
Now, I've already addressed the foreign concept apparently to him about personal responsibility and free will But I'd like to point out the hilarious hypocrisy of this statement in and of itself. The man has maybe 500 to 1,500 viewers on average on Twitch, I guess. He also has 250,000 subscribers on YouTube. He's accusing Asmongold of going after somebody, and thus their fans will go after that person. Yet in this very clip, this is exactly what he's doing. So is his own viewership immune to this level of logic? Or is he just a giant hypocrite? I'm sure that his social blade will tell you what his own fans think about his logic. Let's take a look. How are things going since you've gone on this bit of a hypocritical rant there, Taliesin? Yikes. Down about 2,000 subscribers. Let's see if you've turned it around at all today. Nope. Looks like people are still a little annoyed with you.
If he attacks someone who works for Blizzard, then he often thinks that that's cool because they work for a big billion-dollar corporation. But they are just a person who earns considerably less than Asmongold earns.
As I mentioned earlier, so what? It doesn't matter how much money you earn. Your ideas stand on their own merit. Money has literally nothing to do with Asmongold critiquing anybody. The only thing it has to do with this argument, apparently, is you think he has too much of it and you not enough of it.
Sometimes I think when I'm having sex, sometimes I think of Mark Kern. Because it makes it last longer.
Interesting to hear about you, a creator with 250,000 subscribers and a large Twitch following, talk about going after people, where here you are doing just that in front of hundreds, maybe more than 1,000 Twitch viewers as well. Interesting. I think the word you're looking for here is hypocrite.
But if he singles someone out on stream, if he says, oh, Josh Law is terrible and, you know, it treats people really badly and should be sacked or something like that, he's punching down. Sometimes I think when I'm having sex, sometimes I think of Mark Kern. And you must never punch down. Sometimes I think when I'm having sex, sometimes I think of Mark Kern. Because it makes it last longer.
Oh, because Mark's ugly? Sick burn. A personal attack and punching down? Ooh, the hypocrisy. I suppose that's okay when you do it, though.
Now, there was a part in Asmon's stream yesterday or the day before where he did actually tell his audience off for going after people. That's all very well and good, All-Star, but he doesn't stop going after people himself.
Whoa. 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 Are you saying Asmongold told his viewers to do something and they didn't do it? Now, wait a minute here. Didn't you say earlier that he's responsible for what they do? I'm confused.
If he slags someone else off on his stream, it doesn't matter if he tells his following not to go after them. He knows they will. And that's where the responsibility comes in.
I don't know how anyone in your chat or any of your viewers can literally subscribe to this circular logic, this absolute gamma male level thinking, this I just don't understand. Are you saying that, yes, you acknowledge that Asmongold has no control over his fans, but he's not allowed to criticize anybody? However, you have gone on about a 30-minute rant, which of course I will not respond to in its entirety because I feel my brain cells literally melting away as I try to understand what you're saying. But I think it's pretty clear to everybody who's watching, you think that you are immune from the own rules you're asking everyone else to keep. Isn't that interesting? Don't you think your viewers will now go after him? Or is your viewership and what you do part of like a protected class where nobody in your viewership chat could ever go after someone else? Or is it okay because you're smaller? Because earlier you pointed out that when Asmongold rips on Blizzard, people think it's okay because it's a big corporation, but it's really just one person. Wasn't that also true for Asmongold?
After the years of his persona being the opposite of that, to someone that has followed him for years, That almost sounds like him telling them to go after them.
And this is where I get off your absolute crazy train. I don't know how anyone could have possibly stayed tuned in for 35 minutes of this utter absolute garbage. All right. So the implication here is that even if Asmongold asks his viewers to not interact with somebody whom he's responding to or critiquing, he can't stop them. Even if he doesn't say anything, they're going to do it. If he tells them not to do it, then they're going to do it anyway because of a persona. And in the past, you also imply in this video that, well, he's saying don't do it, but he really means do it, even though he has no evidence of this. This guy is just at this point flat out lying, making wild speculations, and in many ways trying to smear Asmongold. To me, it comes off as petty, it comes off as jealous, it comes off as low IQ in terms of the arguments that he's trying to make, and it's ultimately the same argument that I always have to deal with when I'm critiquing certain ideas, as if the size of a channel is some sort of a cross I have to bear. I can't critique certain ideas because a certain number of people enjoy my content. Sorry, that's not how the world works. I judge people on the merit of their ideas, not on their subscriber count. I don't care how much money they make. I don't know why people like this always seem to obsess about that, but it comes off as pretty pathetic. I hope you enjoyed this video though, and we'll talk to you again real soon.